A roundtable discussion themed Advancing Energy Transition was held in Colombo today with the participation of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The event, held in collaboration with the World Bank, the Ministry of Power and Energy and the Ceylon Electricity Board, served as a platform for discussing the country's energy transition.
We have to discuss whether we need energy transition legislation also. Some countries have energy transition legislation. We've also looked at some areas such as the South Australian. It may be useful for us to have energy transition legislation. Because one is we are going to a new sector, we are opening it up, and not merely power generation but power distribution will have the private sector playing the lead role. There's no other way in which we can achieve our targets by 2040 or for that matter 2050. The Ministry of Finance will also work with others, the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Power, on a green finance policy. So the green finance policy will also drive us. So these are the components that we will have for the transition into using renewable energy. Secondly is the new undersea cables that are coming on for power distribution. One is between Australia and Singapore. The other is between Singapore and India. Now Sri Lanka has the potential of connecting to the Indo-Singapore undersea cable. We are already discussing the power link connectivity between Sri Lanka and India. What we want from you all and the help is a plan for Sri Lanka to go ahead.
The Supreme Court of Sri Lanka has cleared the reforms that have been proposed for the electricity sector, which will be announced by the Speaker on the 4th of June in Parliament, and now we have scheduled in our agenda for the 6th of June to debate it in Parliament on one day and take the vote for the proposed electricity sector reforms so that it can be implemented. One of the biggest challenges we have, apart from developers taking part in the process, is the infrastructure development that is needed. We have identified renewable energy zones, particularly in the northern and the eastern parts of Sri Lanka. We had estimated earlier last year the investment that is needed for the infrastructure development in the north and east, especially combining the 9 backbone lines that needs to be integrated with the other transmission lines, is going to be somewhere around $6 billion in the next 6 years. So that is something that the government can't right now invest in terms of infrastructure. We have proposed in the new reforms that we need to take into account these challenges and invite suitable investors even for the transmission line developments. So those transmission lines, we hope to identify them, advertise them, and also with the support of the development agencies, the policy loans that have been extended, maybe we can use certain policy loans for energy efficiency programs, but we will need much more financial support and technical support in developing these renewable energy potential zones.
Enhancing institutional capacity and regulatory frameworks for renewable energy procurement from private sector independent power producers, IPPs, can mitigate risks and accelerate investments. A new Electricity Act is currently with the Parliament as we speak. Under this new framework, the government is considering the establishment of 1. New regulations for renewable energy power procurement from IPPs in the private sector, and transparent policy and regulatory frameworks and guidelines for land acquisition and grid connectivity related activities for renewable energy capacity augmentation by the private sector. However, private investment in the energy sector still faces financial risks from utility performance and currency concerns, technical challenges with grid integration, and some institutional barriers requiring more regulations governing competitive procurement. Moving forward, and to attract private investments to meet Sri Lanka's ambitious goal for energy transition, it would be critical to develop a comprehensive roadmap with a well-sequenced investment plan for bankable renewable energy projects, grid modernization strategies to facilitate renewable energy integration, and a clear and transparent procurement framework and regulations to govern renewable energy power procurement.